The Horrifyingly Horrible House of Horror, a stuffed wombat production.
This is the Shirehampton Stuffed Wombat Society. Or is it? Actually, it is. But today we are also being the Transylvanian Stuffed Wombat Society, a pain in the neck for everyone, with their production of The Horrifyingly Horrible House of Horror. Listeners of a nervous disposition should turn off now, as should everyone else. Our story starts late one night outside a deserted manor house in the middle of nowhere. Two men in their late 50s approach.
Come on, Zung, keep up.
Sorry, old boy, it's all this equipment I'm carrying. Slows me down a bit.
Are you sure you've got everything? The camcorder?
Yes.
The digital voice recorder?
Yes.
The motion sensors?
Yes.
The night vision goggles?
Yes.
The electromagnetic field recorder?
Yes.
The temperature monitor?
Yes.
The laptops?
Yes.
The mobile generator?
Yes. I've got all of it, every bloody bit, and it weighs a ton. I don't see you carrying anything.
I've got the sandwiches.
Fair enough. What flavour are they?
Marmite.
Ugh.
Anyway, if something happens, I need to be able to quickly relocate.
Run away, you mean?
And report to the others. At least, I would if they were here.
Yes, where is everyone?
Well, Miss Lovelace is still getting over the death of her dogs in that downpour the other day. Miss Honeyman couldn't get a babysitter. And Captain Snort and Sergeant Major Grout have taken the soldiers from Pippin Fort to an evening with the Chippendales at the leisure centre.
You'd almost think none of them wanted to come on this ghost hunting expedition.
True, Windy Miller was particularly terrified. Now I know why they call him Windy.
Still, it's a good night for it. Clear sky and the full moon shining brightly on the old abandoned manor house. I expect any moment that owl over there will hoot spookily. The owl sitting on that cow.
I wonder if that's the only horned beast we shall see tonight.
You're not expecting the devil himself to turn up, are you?
Well, you never know.
Oh, come on. You don't really expect something like that to happen, do you?
Zung, there are things out there beyond humanity's understanding.
Yes, I've seen Love Island too, old boy.
Supernatural events that defy logical explanation. Paranormal happenings that cannot be rationalised away.
I say, is this going to be like one of those horror films where a skeptic and a true believer find themselves in an old haunted house?
And the true believer survives and the skeptic is tormented by demons and suffers a grisly death?
Yes.
Possibly.
Bollocks.
Anyway, chin up. What's the worst that can happen? If we do turn up something genuinely spooky, we might end up in the Daily Mail.
A fate worse than death.
Now, let's see if anyone's in at the old deserted manor house. Although, if they are, I suppose it wouldn't be deserted. I'll ring the bell. If this were a horror film, we'd hear a low, sonorous chime echoing, as if from the depths of hell.
Not what I expected.
Indeed, I can't hear any sound from inside, but this old door looks as though it'll move. I think we can push it open. What a terrible noise.
That wasn't the door. That was my back creaking under the weight of all this equipment I'm still carrying.
Well, now we're inside, put it all down on the floor here. And take one of your suits of armour off too. Now, let's have a look round. We seem to be in a large entrance hall, wood-panelled, with a black and white tiled floor, with a wide, red-carpeted staircase disappearing up into the gloom.
Yes, I can see all that, old boy. I have got eyes, you know. You're speaking like a character in some sort of radio play where you have to describe everything so the listener can picture what's happening.
Well, actually, Mr. Smarty Pants, I was speaking into this small microphone I'm holding, so we'll have an audio recording of everything that happens to us tonight.
Mug?
Yes.
That's actually a Marmite sandwich you're holding.
Ah, I wondered why it wouldn't record. that explains something else as well.
Which is?
Why the snack I had earlier was so crunchy and had bits of wire in it. I mean, I know Marmite is divisive, but I wasn't expecting that.
Well, now you've worked that out, why don't we get on with exploring this spooky old house? Quicker we start, the quicker we can go home and all that.
Getting the collywobbles, old boy?
Well, yes, just a little. There's a certain atmosphere in here, and I'm sure the temperature has dropped.
Ah, now that could indicate the presence of a ghostly entity, or it's because we left the front door open. Probably that. Tell you what, while I set up the equipment, why don't you take a look upstairs?
On my own?
Well, yes. Remember, only I can set up all this ghost hunting stuff. I'm the technical one. You're the...
Yes?
The other one. Off you pop.
Well, thanks a bunch. Do this, Zung, do that, Zung. Blimey. I hope nothing happens as I go up this creaky old staircase. Eat, 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 eat.
Zung.
What is it?
Why are you making those noises as you go upstairs?
Oh, you know.
No, I don't. And it's interfering with the sound equipment, so stop it.
Righto.
I think he's losing his marbles. Now then, this equipment. I'll just plug the reflux capacitor into the plimp node, underthrush the splin pommel, jack up the encoding niblet, and... Excellent. All up and running. Now to listen in to the delicate sounds of the world beyond.
Ah! Ah!
Zung, you lunatic!
Ah!
What are you doing?
It's horrible. It's ghastly.
What is?
I've never seen anything like it.
Like what?
Upstairs, on the first floor, hideous. Come with me.
Yes, all right. Just let go of my arm. Calm down. Up the stairs we go.
E, 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 e.
And stop with the creaky stair noises. Now what is it?
There, on the wall. Oh, a hideous thing. It's like something out of the picture of Dorian Gray. A vile painting of a hideous man, his face. So evil, such depravity in every gruesome wrinkle.
Let me look at this picture.
Mugg, be careful.
I'll just edge a little closer and... Oh.
What is it?
Well, all I can see is a good-looking man of admittedly somewhat mature years, but still very handsome. Quite dashing, I'd say.
No, that can't be. Let me see again. Look, it's a foul thing, oozing with evil.
Zung.
Such hideousness under the pustulant skin.
Zung.
The little piggy eyes glinting with depravity.
Zung, it's a mirror.
What?
It's a mirror. That's why, when I look at it, I see a terribly handsome, mature man, and you see... what you see.
Ah.
Yes.
How embarrassing.
Yes.
You won't tell anyone, old boy, will you?
Not a soul.
Thank you.
Just one thing, though.
Yes?
You might want to moisturise a bit more often.
Bugger off.
Now, while we're upstairs, let's explore a bit. What can you see around us?
Well, it's a bit dim, but we seem to be in some sort of long corridor with various doors leading off it. And there's one door facing us at the end of the corridor. Looks like it has some sort of brass plaque on it.
Shall we take a look?
I'd rather not, old boy.
Oh, come on. I thought you were the big sceptic.
That was before scary things started happening.
Well, nothing scary has happened yet. Let's take a look at that brass plaque.
If you insist.
Zung.
Yes?
Do you mind not holding my hand as we walk?
Sorry, old boy. Oh, my God!
What?
Look what it says on the plaque.
I can't quite make it out.
Faust. It says Faust.
You mean the name of the guy who sold his soul to the devil?
Yes, he made a pact with Mephistopheles to gain dark magical powers.
Ooh,
Mugg, what sort of devilish house is this?
Wait a minute.
I'm off, I've had enough.
No, look. It doesn't say Faust, it says F. Orst.
What?
F. Orst, Freddie Orst. He was the guy that used to own this place years ago. He was a psychiatrist. That was probably his consulting room. Come on, let's go in. There you are. Look, a perfectly normal office. Desk, chair, couch for the patient.
Well, that's a relief. Quite the layer of dust, though. This whole place could do with a good spring clean. Very musty.
I'll see if I can open a window. Let some night air in. Why don't you check out the books on the desk?
Most of them are covered in mould. Wouldn't get much for this lot on eBay. Oh, I say.
What is it?
That's disgusting. One of these books is open on a picture of bloody flesh. And this one's got a picture of a human body with all the skin stripped away. Ugh. Was Dr. Housed into torture porn? And look at this. Another book open on pictures of saws and evil-looking pincers.
Odd reading material for a psychiatrist.
They do say they go loopy, you know, old boy. Spending all that time talking to nutters tips them over the edge.
I don't think those are approved terms these days.
And again, look at these books. One's about bones, the other is about remains, and one's got Todd in the title. That's German for death, you know. This is the library of a sadist.
I'm not so sure. Let me just clean the mould and dust off. Yes, there we are.
What?
Well, the book open on the picture of bloody flesh, as you put it, is a cookbook. That's a side of beef.
Ah.
The one with a human body is the Dorling Kindersley Children's Book of Anatomy, and the one with the picture of saws is a DIY catalogue.
And the book's about bones and remains and Todd.
They're the entirely normal novels, The Lovely Bones and The Remains of the Day. And the other one is The Tales of Mr. Todd by Beatrix Potter. German for death, indeed.
I do seem to have overreacted a little.
A little? If you get any more scared, I'm going to take you outside and throw you to the werewolf.
There's a werewolf?
No, of course there isn't a bloody werewolf. Probably. Anyway, look, let's just calm down and act like a couple of sensible grown men. Why don't we go and explore next door?
Very well, but I think I should warn you that I can feel something.
Such as? A sense of impending doom, or that we're being watched by spectral eyes?
No, it's more a sort of gnawing.
Actually, now you come to mention it, I've got a sort of gnawing feeling too, right in my guts, like I'm being nibbled by rats, but from the inside.
You know what this means, don't you?
What?
It's time to pop out the Marmite sandwiches, old boy. We're hungry. Let's fortify ourselves as we go next door.
Good idea. Here you go.
Thanks. Ah, this seems to be some sort of bedroom. Very old-fashioned. Tapestries on the wall. Look at that four-poster bed.
It's quite the antique. Also somewhat mysterious with the curtains drawn all around it like that. You can't see what might be on the bed. I think you should go and draw back the curtains and have a look.
Why me? Can't you go?
I have to wrap up the sandwiches again.
Oh, very well. I'll just pull back the curtain. Oh, that's disgusting. Stretched out on the bed, it's bloodless. It's white as a sheet.
It's a sheet.
What?
The thing that is white as a sheet is a sheet.
So it is. But what about those two hideous, gigantic maggots lying there at the top? Explain those away if you can.
Zung, they're...
Pillows. They're pillows, aren't they? Sorry, old boy, I'm getting a bit carried away. My nerves are getting the better of me.
Perhaps we should just go back downstairs and have a nice cup of tea.
This isn't the National Trust, you know. There won't be a cafe.
No, but there must be a kitchen. I've got some tea bags and milk.
I didn't see those.
They're in the case marked Ultra-High Frequency Emissions Transcoder. If Mrs. Honeyman and Miss Lovelace had joined us, I didn't want them making tea all night, so I disguised them.
But suppose you need the Ultra-High Frequency Emissions Transcoder.
That's in the case marked tea bags. Come on, let's go downstairs. There's your tea, old boy.
Thank you very much. I definitely need this.
Sorry if it's all left you a bit on edge.
No, it's my fault. I just didn't realise that a ghost hunting expedition would be quite so spooky. I didn't half scare myself when we came downstairs and I spotted that creepy suit of armour.
Even though it was your suit of armour which you'd taken off earlier?
Tell you what, though, looking round this kitchen, it's incredibly big. Are you sure that's a stove?
Well, I brewed the tea on it without any trouble.
But it's massive. A giant could lie down on top of it with room to spare. And what about all those wires and dials and levers and all that pipework that disappears up through the ceiling?
Ah, I had a look at that while you were packing our stuff away. The pipes lead up to a huge lightning conductor on the roof. Seems old Freddie Orst was way ahead of his time, channeling nature's energy down to the kitchen as a source of power.
And that old wooden cabinet where you looked for cups and saucers.
What about it?
Well, bear with me, but you do have to admit that it does look very like a coffin.
I suppose it does now you mention it. I say, can you imagine Count Dracula down here in his coffin while Dr. Frankenstein is working on his creature on that big stove?
Just one thing, Mugg.
Yes?
So, this adventure is called the Horrifyingly Horrible House of Horror.
Yes?
And we've spent all night in the horrifyingly horrible house without anything horrifyingly horrible actually happening.
It looks that way.
Well, won't the listeners feel somewhat cheated?
No more so than usual, I wouldn't expect.
Fair enough.
Come on, let's go home and have some cake. The sun will be coming up soon.
Lead the way. Eat, 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 eat.
And stop making those creaky sounds.
Sorry.
Ah, the children of the night. What music they make.
Count Dracula?
Yes, Dr. Frankenstein?
Have they gone? Can we come out of hiding now?
Yes, they have returned to the land of the living.
Thank Satan for that. I found their presence here most disturbing.
Because of the Marmite sandwiches?
Even worse than that. I have never seen two people so terrifyingly stupid.
The Horrifyingly Horrible House of Horror was written by Richard Hall and starred Tim Reed as Timothy Mugg and Dracula. Richard Hall was the announcer, Dick Zung and Frankenstein, and Hazel Hall was the werewolf. Sound effects were truly terrifying, and it was a stuffed wombat production.